Now, Metro Atlanta's largest animal shelters are at a breaking point. The LifeLine Animal Project says record numbers of pets are pouring into the Fulton and DeKalb County shelters, and they're running out of space to care for them. A report out earlier this year found that more than 2,100 animals entered Metro Atlanta shelters in August alone, the highest monthly total on record. But only 14% of lost dogs are being reclaimed by their families in Fulton and DeKalb counties, meaning most never make it home. The report also discovered that shelters built to house about 475 dogs are now holding anywhere between 500 and 600 at a time, pushing conditions to the limit. Here now from the LifeLine Animal Project is Timyka Artist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Timyka, when you walk through those kennels right now, what does it feel like to see so many animals waiting for a home?
It's really difficult for us because as a staff member, we grow very attached to these animals, and each one of them has a very individual story about how they ended up at our shelter, whether it's because they were lost or because they were surrendered by their owners. And we want the most positive outcome that we can find for these animals, which means finding them a loving home. And so it's very difficult for us. It takes a toll on us as well.
Yeah. What do you think is driving this record surge?
Well, we have seen a 27% increase over this time last year in the number of animals that are coming into our shelters. That includes pets that are lost, that are stray, animals that are coming into our system because they're involved in court cases. We have about 66 animals on court case hold at our DeKalb shelter alone. 13 came in just last week. But this past week in particular, we have seen a lot of pregnant puppies and mamas and litters coming into the shelter, in addition to people surrendering their animals as well.
Wow, we just talked about some numbers there of shelters built to hold 475. You're now seeing 500, 600. Are you close to absolute capacity, and what happens when that happens?
So we are above capacity at both of our shelters right now. We are probably about 56 over between the two shelters as I speak to you today. And it's really hard to say what's driving it. Obviously, we know the economy can play a role in some of this. We did have the government shut down now entering its 5th week. I don't know if that's directly impacting it, but people are struggling. And when families struggle, pets are a part of our lives. They're a part of our family. And just like you and I are looking at grocery store prices and going, gosh, this costs a lot. We know that food prices are up, vet care prices are up. I read somewhere there's a new study that came out that shows that 1 in 5 pet owners carry about $2,000 in pet debt alone.
Wow.
So that's a significant impact. So we know that people are just struggling.
Yeah. For folks watching right now, what's at stake if nothing happens or nothing changes?
Well, we do have to make these very tough decisions every single week. We look at a number of factors. We have a team that takes this very, very seriously. And what we try to do is look at behavioral issues. The animals that are in our shelters due to spacing issues, there's nothing wrong with them. There's this stigma that the animals, there's something wrong with them. Why are they at the shelter? These are happy, healthy, behaviorally fine animals that are simply there because of space. But we do have a 90% save rate. But one of the things we look at is kennel stress. How are animals doing in our shelters because they're in a crowded space? We find that a lot of times if you just get them out for the day or for a weekend, it can completely change their behavior. So we push our dog for the day program, just get them out for the day, take them on a walk, get them out for the weekend. Our weekend warrior programs, people can temporarily get the animals out of our shelters for a couple of days, a weekend. It really helps impact their behavior.
You talked about the myths that people may have. What do you want every Atlantan out there, everybody watching, to understand, and how can they help out the shelter?
Well, we want people to know that we have to change the way that we look at animal welfare in this country in general. Animals are meant to be in loving homes. They're not supposed to be in shelters. And it is a community problem. It's not a we versus they problem. This is a community problem. Atlanta loves their pets. They love their animals. We have more pet owners in the South than we do up north, for sure. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because of the beautiful weather that we have here. So they're a part of our lives. They're a part of our families. These are members of our community, if you will. So think about adopting instead of shopping. The holidays are coming. If you want a pet, consider coming to Fulton or DeKalb shelters to look for an animal. We have technicians that are there to help you find an animal that fits with your lifestyle. Also, spread the word about LifeLine. We have a number of animals out there that need loving homes. And if you know someone that needs help, we have programs that can help pet owners that are struggling. We have our Pets for Life program, which is an assistance program for people living primarily in the College Park, East Point areas. Yeah. We also have a free food bank in DeKalb once a month. If you need help, we can offer you free pet food, but we're there to help you.
Gotcha. Timyka Artist, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for the insight you've given this morning.